In Episode 3, Adamo and Rasheed talk about the battles within. Understanding yourself, and you'll learn some tools along the way and step into the light. Enjoy!
Good morning, Rasheed. We've made it to episode 3. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited, mate. Let's do this.
That's fantastic. Okay, now with episode 3, we're going to get a little bit personal. Sometimes, episodes we just don't know where they're going to go. But episode 3 is about the battles within.
That's right.
We're going to share personal battles. We're going to talk about demons in our head, explore dark places, and discuss youth struggles. Join us as we navigate challenges, offer insights, and embrace measures to move forward into the light. Did you like that?
I like it.
Let's
but stop reading from the script,
let's
mate.
confront the shadows together and foster a path to hope and resilience. Welcome, the cream of the Middle East,
The cream of the Middle East, Rasheed.
Rasheed.
I'm your co-host today with the man himself, Adam Bonacci.
Now look,
How do you say your surname?
Bonacci, but
Bonacci.
don't Bonacci. But what we're gonna, you have to start calling me Adamo, mate. Because
Adamo.
I'm getting all these people saying, watching it, because we're gaining a little bit of traction now.
Oh, fair enough.
And they're like, he calls you Adam.
Adamo. Mate, you should have told me from the beginning that you were Adamo, not Adam.
Well, you can call me Adamo now.
Adamo, the man himself, Adamo, the legend, the myth and the legend.
Oh, that's
Is
beautiful.
that how it goes?
Oh, look, I don't think my wife would agree with that. But that's
Oh, your wife doesn't agree with a lot of things that you do.
Anyway. Okay, let's paint the picture. Let's paint a picture.
Before you paint the picture, I'm just gonna say, guys, stay connected with us. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Okay, for more exciting updates and contents. Okay, your support means a lot. Thank you very much.
We're doing all this work by ourselves. We don't have like an extended budget.
Yeah.
We don't have Kim Kardashian that's going to come on the show. We don't have Taylor Swift. So we're just Rasheed and Adamo.
Rasheed and Adamo, that's
this is as good as it's going to get for a couple of weeks.
I think this is good enough.
But we've got a lot coming. Now, let's paint the picture. Look.
Yeah.
The battles within. Now, look, I don't have a doctrine in psychology.
So you're not an expert?
No. But
I'm not an expert either.
I didn't study at RMIT.
Yeah.
I didn't study at university.
Yeah.
Right. But on the grounds that I have owned my own barbershop for the last 25 years. So there is some element of...
Yeah. What, that qualifies you to be an expert in mental illness?
I've had to listen to the stories, Rasheed. I've had to listen to people. And just recently, look, we'll go to that next level.
Yeah.
I've just decided, because I'm busy with a podcast and busy with a lot of other things and catering and stuff like that, I've decided that I'm hanging the boots up with the cutting. So I've started telling my clients...
You're going to cut my hair.
I'll give you one more cut and then piss off. Anyway.
He's cutting my hair right after this podcast.
So just to tie it into the battles within. So I said to one of my clients, I said, I won't say his name, but I told him I'm not cutting anymore. And he looked at me and he didn't say anything about who's going to cut my hair. He said, who the fuck am I going to talk to?
Is that what he said?
He had a tear in his eye. I had a tear in my eye. I was like, and then it hit me. I'm like, it's not just about the hair cutting. It's having someone to talk to.
He would just like he was just coming to you just for the talk.
Oh, like you build a relationship over 15 years. You listen. It's a personal thing. It's about listening. It's about he tells a story, you tell a story. How are we going to navigate this? We try and paint a little bit of a picture. And then I said, look, the only difference is I'm not going to cut your hair anymore.
Yeah.
But if you want to go for a coffee or a fucking beer, let's go.
Yeah, well, you can't go for coffees with your clients, with all your clients.
No, you can go for a beer. You can hang out. You can chat. Send me a message.
Yeah, I suppose.
The relationship doesn't end.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it?
So, I mean, these battles, they're in our head. They're in everyone's head. These little demons, the ones that tell you can't.
You can't. The trauma, there's stuff like that. People go through trauma, through dark times.
So we're talking about dark times.
Yeah, dark times. Eventually it leads to depression and anxiety. And did you know that in Australia, between 1.5 to 2 million people suffer from depression Well, eventually these
Wow.
dark times lead to depression. They suffer from depression every year. That's 10%, 10% of the population. Did you know that?
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Mm.
And look, like Adam said, that I'm not an expert, but the thing is, I've seen enough in my lifetime to be able to give my opinion. Yeah, coming from
Same.
you would have watched our previous episode. I was born and raised in overseas, and I've seen people get shot, hanged, chopped, and stoned to death.
But how do you deal with that as a kid?
That's the thing, like when
You have
you're
to
a
get
kid,
over it.
no, you can't. If you're a kid, you just don't understand what's happening. But as you grow older, the memories
Yeah.
haunt you. You know what I mean? Like you go
Because you
those
can't
things that-
process it as a
yeah.
kid.
Oh yeah, you can't process
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But those memories that you have, that you have from those events, they haunt you. You know what I mean? Like they will stay for the rest of your life with you. It is something that will never go away. Because I can still remember that the person who got hanged and this person who got shot from the head, his teeth came out of his mouth because the bullet went right through. Let's not get too graphic, but yeah, that's a bit too graphic. Adam is getting a bit emotional, but
So we're not talking. Look,
That's-
I've never had depression.
yeah,
You've never had depression.
yeah, I've been through
Dark
very
times.
dark moments in my life. Yes,
Yes,
I
when
have.
you've had to, you trying to work out, what's going on. It could be something that's impacted your family, a financial thing.
That's right.
A thought, relationship. It could be work, money. Like everyone's got a different.
Yeah, different. Look, what I'm trying to say, like I said, I'm not an expert. But however, if Adam, you would know this because I work for the railways, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you know that on average 2 people commit suicide on the railway tracks a week? Every week?
I mean, you see it on the news when you try and skip over it.
Yeah,
that
it's just-
supports the fact. Yeah, so
It's just heartbreaking. Once this kid in his school uniform with a backpack jumped in front of the train. And I attend these fatalities. I have to go there and attend and see these things, which is heartbreaking. This is what I'm trying to say. We should, even for the parents, you know what I mean? For the parents, they need to speak to their kids because the kids...
starts in the house.
The stats show that kids between the age of 16 and to about 25, so they're still, quite young, they actually act on those, feelings of being worthless, and like they commit suicide, which is very, very sad because these people they don't have the maturity to seek the right counseling to pull themselves out of that situation.
And then you're always wondering as a parent, you think, was it something he was just going through on the day? Was it something that happened at school? Was it something that we did in that moment? He did something that you can't take back, and then you've got questions that because it's not what you do sometimes. It's what you leave behind.
Yeah,
it's what you leave behind.
Yeah.
It's pretty profound.
yeah.
Actually.
So the whole idea of this podcast is to smile through those dark times, and to this day I gotta tell you a story. This is pretty funny. I tell you what, man. I was in overseas. One night a fight broke out between the two kind of parties, two groups, and guess what? Like the whole night, bullets were flying, bombs were being dropped, and so it was basically pretty bad. We were hiding in a bunker, me and like 10, 15 other people, and guess what? This time, the bombs are dropping and the sound of bullets and everything. And my brother goes, I want to shit. I want to take a shit. Listen to this. He goes, I want to take a shit. I'm like, mate, you can't get out of here. If you get out, you're gonna die. Simple as that. And
So he shit himself.
no, listen to this. There was a vase.
Yeah.
There was a vase like those clay vases.
Yeah.
vases? one of them was just lying in the corner. He goes, I'm just going to shit in this. So he sits on the vase. Every time there's a bomb, he clenches. He couldn't shit.
He couldn't shit.
So even today, what I'm trying to say, even today, when I talk to my brother, I'm like, remember that night that you were trying to
Shit.
trying to chuck a shit and you couldn't. Like it's funny that I've gone through that kind of that type of trauma,
Yeah.
and I can still manage to smile about it, to
You
joke
come out
about
the other
it.
end. You're here now. You're in another country.
Yeah.
Got family, and so like we've all got struggles.
Yeah.
We've all got struggles now.
Yeah, I've got this is just a memory that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, when I first moved to Australia, listen to this. When I first moved to Australia, I didn't know the culture. I didn't know the language.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about. I couldn't relate to people. Do you know that? I couldn't fit in. I still don't fit in, but I'm just saying.
You're still learning the language.
I'm still learning the language. I'm still doing this podcast in English. But anyways, 20 years later, I'm still learning it.
So that's a battle
So,
within too.
man,
Like
like,
it doesn't have to be like end of life stuff. It's just a battle. That battle
The battle,
within
I'm talking about that battle that, for the first 2-3 years,
acceptance.
I was so.
Yeah.
Can I say I was depressed? But probably I may have been depressed. You know why? Like everything was new.
Yeah.
Everything was new. I couldn't finish. One day I was telling my mom, I'm like, Mom, look, I want to go back to Afghanistan. She goes, we came all the way from there here, and you want to go back?
Yeah, your default was to go back home
because I couldn't fit in this society. But that day, I wanted to break those barriers. I decided that no, I can't live like this. Okay, I can't live like this. So that's what pushed me towards. So I went to get my degree from an Australian university.
Yeah.
I learned the language, and I tried to. I started basically talking to people, mingling with people, and that's how
You broke down the barriers with people?
Yeah, broke down the barriers. And that's how I learned their culture, Australian culture. And now we're sitting here, two people from two different backgrounds. You're Italian, I'm Afghan, and we can communicate. How good is that?
in a particular way.
And if you guys think that you have it bad, worse than me, then mate, take a page out of my book.
You survived. You here?
I survived here, mate, for 20, coming up 21 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
tell me about
the battles. Like
Adam. I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Look, I was going to ask you a question because
Hit me.
remember when you went to Spain?
Oh,
How old were you back then?
I was 21.
You're 21. You left everything. You went to Spain. You wanted to learn music. You wanted to learn that the flamenco
Yeah.
dance, and you wanted to be a rock star.
Mate, I am a rock star. What are you talking about?
Now,
Look at
those dreams that you
aren't
had,
fake.
yeah,
These
those
guitars aren't fake. No, those dreams, I still play. Look,
but you didn't end up being a rock star. You know what I
Look,
mean? Those dreams were shattered. Now, how do you feel about that? I mean, as a 21-year-old, you would have gone through some disappointments. You know what I mean? How did you feel? Did you feel sad when things that you wanted to, like, things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out?
Not necessarily. So I look at life as an overall picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't necessarily have to become this thing that's at the back of your mind.
Yeah.
So along the way, there's a journey. Yeah, it's like you can learn aspects of rock or doing something which will build your character.
Did you feel a bit upset? Did you feel a bit sad?
No, because
when
I've never
came back. Yeah.
No, because I tell you why I don't feel upset.
Why?
Is because I've actually never ever stopped learning. So
Yeah.
in the last, ever since I remember,
Yeah.
it's not like I wake up and go, oh shit, I haven't become a rock star. I've still done a lot with music.
No, you
I've
did.
performed with people. I've done quite a bit.
Yeah.
So like, and the thing is, what keeps me interested
Yeah.
and not worried about what other people think, and that thought of why haven't I become,
Yeah.
is because I have this like inner belief
Yeah.
that if I keep learning things,
Yeah.
then it'll build me as a character and a person. That's just the way I look at things.
This is what I was getting at. You know, like every bit, every experience, every trauma is a lesson learned.
That's right.
And maybe in the next episode, I'm going to talk about. I might talk about what I went through. Remember, I had a court battle, and it took 2 years. It was a very emotional time for me. But anyways, we'll talk about it. So what I'm trying to say is that these events shape you as a person, whether you're a male or a female.
Yeah.
So take these events, whether it's good or bad,
Yeah.
and take it as a learning curve,
Yeah.
learn from it, and grow stronger. Now, emotionally, I'm so strong that honestly, emotionally, maybe not physically, but emotionally so strong that if you crushed me between two mountains, I'd come out of it.
I don't know
Alive in
about
one
that
piece.
analogy. I don't know about. Look, just on that note, just to bring it
Yeah.
all into focus here,
Yeah.
we're talking about the battles within. So we're talking about our battles, but we've
Yeah.
got other battles about, like for example, and I just want to touch on these. We've got young. Young kids have got battles, expectations. They've
Yeah.
got social media. We've even got an older generation that gets to 65, 70 years old,
Yeah.
and then people don't go and visit them. So
Yeah.
they got this like everyone has a battle within
That's
at
right.
a certain time of their life.
That's right.
Now I can't speak like even young girls apparently. So like on the internet, they got social media
Social
issues.
media.
They
Oh,
got image issues. They've got how they're dealing with those with figure issues like what they look like and stuff like that.
It's school bullying.
Bullying.
Guys, bullying is a
Yeah.
big thing nowadays. Because this is why I encourage all the parents to speak to their children. Sometimes they go, "No, I don't want to go to school. Something may have happened." And it is this true experience that this is what happened to my son. My son one day he loves school.
Yeah.
One day he goes, "I don't want to go to school." I'm like, "Why don't you want to go to school?" "Daddy, I just want to go to school one day a week on Mondays." I'm like, "Why?"
So at least you can talk to him.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm like, this is not right, because this kid loved school. All of a sudden, he says that he doesn't like school.
So you couldn't
Why?
do that when you were a kid.
Huh?
So when you were a kid, you had to work it out.
I had to work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But now you can talk to the teachers. When I where I grew up, mate, you couldn't talk to no one. Even the teachers didn't care. But listen to this.
You know who I had?
Yeah.
I had Sylvester Stallone. I had all the Rocky movies. Just before you go on,
Yeah.
people out there listening, you can watch Rocky 1 to 5, and there's a scene from every movie that you can relate to or find strength to move forward in life.
Yeah, I've seen actually those. I haven't seen Rocky movies, but the
It's not just about the fighting.
some of the dialogues.
It's Stallone, Adrian with the bottom of the stairs, Rocky
Yeah.
4. Rocky 3 when Stallone and Apollo are running on the beach. There's a lot of lessons. So whenever I'm feeling down or I'm having a hard time or I'm trying to find an answer, because I've watched all the Rocky movies about 50,000 times,
Yeah.
I go to a scene
Yeah.
and I just watch the scene, and it gives
Yeah.
me a little bit of strength. It gives me perspective.
Yeah.
So in the darkness, in those dark times, it's just thoughts in the head that
You
you've
find
got to
something to
navigate.
motivate. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I deal with it.
You know what I did? When
What'd you do?
remember when I was in school, okay, as a kid, I was like, I don't know, I would have been in grade 4 or grade 5, whatever it was. Yeah, I was the youngest kid there, you know what I mean? Younger than probably most of the students there in my class. And I wouldn't say I was bullied, but, people would make comments, this and that. I was a shy kid. Eventually, I learned I learned martial arts. I'm like, I had to learn something to be able to
Mental
teach these fuckers, like what I used that, the feeling of being kind of bullied by other people, I used that as a flame, you know what I mean, to turn myself into a weapon.
Teaches you about discipline too, actually, and then learning how to fight.
Learning how to fight.
Actually teaches you not to fight.
Mate, I
It
can
teaches you to
kick
walk
some
away.
ass, mate. I'm telling you right now, don't fuck with me.
Okay, now after speaking all about that, let's put it into perspective. So we're in the darkness.
Yeah,
Now, eventually, you got to turn the light on.
yeah,
You need some tools.
yeah.
So let's talk
How
about
do
some
you
tools.
come out of this darkness?
Okay, so
Yep.
we've got self-reflection. We've
Yep.
got mindfulness.
Yeah,
We've got stuff like you got to start
yeah. For me,
looking at yourself and taking care of yourself.
that's right. For me, is the first thing is acceptance. You know what acceptance is?
Tell me.
For example, people might think that a place where I lived, when you see violence, death, misery, how can a person be happy?
You accept it for what it is.
When you see everything all around you, you go, these people wouldn't smile, but I still smiled. I still went to school the next day, right? So you have to accept the things that are happening, accept the realities of life. Accept the facts. Once you have come to terms with those facts, then you're happy. I had to come.
Or you
to
can
terms.
start putting things.
Yeah,
in
I
place.
lived in a time in a post-apocalyptic world. I thought that I was gonna die the next minute. 1 minute I'm alive, the next minute I'm dead. But I had to come to terms that if I was dead the next moment, I was okay with that. So you have to come to terms with that. And there's and don't underestimate the power of positive thinking.
Positive thinking. So positive thinking is one thing as well.
Yeah.
Now getting back to like in family, let's talk about like family
Yeah.
and relationships. So prioritizing self-care. Every time I ring you,
Yeah.
you're getting a massage.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta look after yourself.
What do you pay for a massage?
Yeah, I was
$80?
getting to that point.
Yeah,
You got to look after yourself.
you got to look after yourself. So that's a tip.
Yeah.
That's a tip.
Another tip:
Yep.
go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Play
You're looking,
any type of sport is good. Like I think that through some of my darkest times, I would go to the gym and I would just lift weights as much as I could. And how when you train, when you exercise, your brain releases dopamine. Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes you happy. And I think that exercise was one of the things. What's the word that that kind of helped me push through those dark times.
Okay.
Exercise.
And then that
is the
correlates with food.
with food. Yeah.
Eating good food and
Yeah.
your gluten so you had that test because you were feeling a little bit down, so you went for a blood test.
Yeah.
And then they told you that you couldn't eat certain things, so you've got on top of that. That's another thing.
Yeah. You have to look after yourself.
Then you got alcohol.
Yeah. Don't drink alcohol. It's
well,
haram.
It's haram, which means bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's forbidden. It's
Forbidden.
Look, guys, if you want to drink alcohol, I have nothing against it. But like if I tell people don't drink alcohol, that would be very hypocritical. Because every now and again I might have a bit, it doesn't make me a bad Muslim. I'm look.
Mate, all the Muslims I know,
does.
all the Muslims I know, break all the rules except one:
Yeah, I don't eat the
pork.
pork. I
I'm
don't eat
Italian,
pork.
mate. We get the pig,
Yeah,
and every part of the pig we use in a certain way. We dry it with this, with that.
yeah,
So I got a lot of Muslim friends.
yeah. They drink alcohol, but they wouldn't eat.
They
the
break
pork.
a
Yeah,
lot of
wouldn't
rules.
eat
I'm
pork.
not saying who they are.
Yeah.
And they're good people.
Yeah,
But the one thing that holds them together,
not eating pork.
is not eating pork. So you know what I do? Sometimes I make a pizza
Yeah,
and I put the pork on, and
Yeah.
they go, "What's this?" And I'll go,
chicken.
"Chicken," and they eat it. And then later I go, "Hey mate, you used to eat pork." He goes, "No." He goes, "You told me it was chicken,
And that's it. It's on you.
and it's chicken," and that's it. That's the end of the story. So we can learn and grow. We spoke about
Yeah.
learning and growing. Now
Yeah.
seek professional help.
Help. Yeah, that's fine. Before seeking professional help.
Talk to your wife.
This is talk to your missus. Don't talk to your missus. That's a mistake. No, this is I think that if you're religious, pray praying is a kind of meditation.
Praying. Yeah, I haven't
Or
got that in my notes.
Meditation for people who don't believe in God, but I'm personally, I believe in God. I think there's a higher power. For me, back in the days, in a Holy Quran, in my book, when I was a kid, I used to read in the book that God says in the book that pray to me, not that I need it, but you need it. I'm like, why would I want to pray to you and you don't even need it? How would I? Why would I need it? Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
But later in life, when I grew up, then now I realize that when praying is kind of keeps you focused on a path that eventually
Gives you hope.
Yeah, it gives you hope. Eventually,
That's a great one. I didn't have that in my notes. It's probably the most important thing.
You'll meet your
faith,
maker.
your faith.
Yeah, you'll meet your maker, and being in hell or heaven is basically a goal that you have to work towards. You know what I mean? See, this is what God knows the psyche of a man, the psychology that He promises the hell or the heaven that for you to keep you on the right path. And live your life righteously, be honest. And I can't emphasize enough that, and take responsibility. And if you're going through hard times, and if you think that you may have been the cause of some of the things that you're going through, take some responsibility and think about it. Look, taking responsibility is the first step.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's showing that vulnerable side.
That's right.
To start moving into the light. And especially
with
with guys too, there's a lot of egos too.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, since starting this podcast, like a lot of guys I've been speaking to, they're like telling me that they've been listening.
Have they?
To all the program. Like, how much do you listen to? They're like, I listen to all of it. And I know they are because I'm looking at the analytics online and there's like hours.
And they've been listening.
They're listening.
To our podcast.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to keep going. So we got...
Yeah, no, we're going to keep going. But the thing is, taking responsibility. Now, I've got a funny story about taking responsibility. That one day, this guy, Adam, he rings me. People who know about cryptocurrency. He goes, to be specific, Luna, there's a coin called Luna Classic. Adam rings me. He goes, Luna is dropping.
Put your money on it, can't lose.
You can't lose. You'll double your money in matter of hours.
By the next morning.
And he goes, mate, you got to put your money on it. I'm like, I put $3,000 on it. Hours later, went to zero. Basically, I lost everything. And this guy rings me the next day. He goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, fuck you. You better be fucking sorry for what you did. But look, I took full responsibility. I said that, look, I'm a big boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tying it back into the battles.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing.
You lose money, you make a bad decision. So it's not about crypto, but it's about
taking responsibility.
And sometimes you do a move that just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right.
So you feel like you're trapped, but you know what? Just take a few breaths.
Yeah.
And, there's always someone that you can ring.
Yeah.
There's, counseling groups. You can talk to your next door neighbor. That movie they made, the sitcom.
Surround yourself with good mates.
They made
I don't know whether Adam is a good mate, but fucking I'm stuck with this guy. We talk a lot of shit, but I think that he's done a few things for me. I think that his intentions are good. I reckon.
Oh, mate, I've taken you out of the darkness and moving you into the light.
Yeah, you made me lose $3,000.
No, on a serious note, you're the most annoying guy that I do know.
Yeah.
But you've got, we've always spoken in depth about everything that we're going to be talking about the next 100 episodes.
Yeah, the thing is, you know what I like about this, because I can hang shit on you. I talk. I hang shit on you, but you take it like a man. You cop it on the chin. You go, oh yeah, I tease you about your missus. You've got a wife that who's not happy with some of your life choices, but.
But look, this is look, having said, being above for 25 years and having the opportunity to speak to, guy after guy after bloke,
Yeah.
like 98% of the time, the battles within the challenges of talking are all the stuff that it's just day-to-day life stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not fighting and trying to beat cancer, you're complaining about the 5 crumbs that are on the floor when you walk in. They're still there from the morning.
Yeah.
So, like, these battles, it's just the psyche, and it look, we're giving you some tools.
And plus, this is I want to add this in the end. I want to just
Adamo.
make a Adamo. I just want to
Give people hope.
Yeah, Adamo. Listen to this.
Adamo.
Surround yourself with people,
Good people.
people who have your best interests at heart. Okay, and there's a saying.
A Persian saying. Is this your first Persian saying?
A Persian saying? No, it's not Persian. It's just a normal saying. They say that if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So friends and people that you associate with will have a massive impact on your future.
That's
okay,
right.
It will have a massive impact on your growth. So make sure that you surround yourself with good people.
Self-learning. There's a lot of online stuff.
Yeah,
You can
educate yourself.
You can watch this. Back
You
in
can
our
listen
day,
to us.
we had. Look, most of the stuff we watch on TV, there was a great message out of sitcoms. There was, a lot of 80s movies. There was great messages. But, now these kids, they've got a lot of information at their fingertips. They go online. They got people. Look, you got a lot of people telling you what to do, but you don't know if they've done it. So they're selling you a story.
You live in a country like Australia. It's a great country. Let's face it. As an immigrant, I'm telling you, Australia is a great country. We've got everything is given to you. Why should you be depressed about? What are you depressed about? Honestly, if you're depressed, this country, basically, if you work, you make money. If you don't work, government gives you money.
This country is great.
If
you're a bum.
Huh? But if you
if you're a bum,
they give you a house.
Everything.
They give you everything.
That's why, because that's the way I got ahead. When I was filling out the form, it says, are you Arab, Aboriginal, or Torres Strait Islander?
Yeah.
I ticked the box. No, I'm joking.
That you're an Arab? Or?
No, that I was Indigenous. Don't tick the box, right? Look, there's this has been a great episode. We've touched on a lot of subjects.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
If
If you guys have any questions, you can leave a comment. We'll elaborate on it.
Yeah. Next episode's coming up. We've got a lot to talk about, It's not always going to be about darkness.
Yeah.
And challenges. There's good stories. There's crypto. There's
religion. I think that religion. We'll talk about religion. Some of the things that we will look at religion from. Look, I'm Muslim. We'll look at religion from a different perspective. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
From different perspective. We'll break it down scientifically, and we'll tell you whether religion is good or bad. Because I know a lot about religion, but that is for the
future episodes.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up.
Khodafis,
guys, and please follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you very much.